Hello everyone, it is Sue here. So in this video, we are going to continue on in the journal that I'm making for following along with Carol from Wonky Stitching with Carol. Her link will be in my description box. And I'm just kind of, just kind of doing my thing here. And so I think I have enough pages. So, but there's a few things that I want to add onto the pages. So that's what we're going to do today. So, okay, so I'm gonna have two signatures, right? And I'm gonna, like at first I thought that this would be the cover of this journal, but I've decided to do something totally different. In fact, I bought fabric special just for the cover of this journal. And I do have it, but I'm not going to show you yet. Yeah, maybe in I don't know, a few weeks. But anyways, a couple weeks. So I have the two signatures, right? So in the two signatures, there are 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 8 pages. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And these signatures, they will be sewn together, which I haven't done yet. And what I'm going to do, since my pages are not the same size. I mean, they're close, but they're not exactly the same size. I think what I'm going to do is put some of this lace, this lacy trim, which is super pretty. I'm going to end up sewing around the edges. So when I go to sew the pages together, I'm going to put this in here and just sew it all at the same time, right? So I'll be sewing the 2 pages together along with this lacy trim at the same time. And isn't that pretty? I think it's going to be perfect. I am going to put it all the way around, and I think that that will be really nice. So that's my plan. But for today, I did want to add a couple things. So the 2 things that I would like to find a spot for on here is this and this. So this is one of my yo-yos that I had sewn, and I still want to do a video of me making yo-yos. I'm using my yo-yos up, but I have to replenish them, and I haven't done that yet, so I really need to do that. Okay, so I want to add this yo-yo, and the fact that, I've been adding yellow throughout, I thought that this would be a good color. And this is a piece of a project that actually is from my aunt. It's probably 40 plus years old. It is Crewel. And so when she passed, like I have the kit from her, which I've totally disassembled. And, I pulled the yarn out. I pulled the piece that she was working on. And yeah, so this is from that. I think I had tea dyed this at some point. I don't think that this was the original cover of the linen, but anyways, so I would love to pull this in. And like I said, it's something that my aunt made, so I would love that. And of course it is a shade of yellow. Okay, so this page right here is the first page I did. There's no yellow on it. I guess at that point, I didn't have my full, idea yet of what I was doing. So I definitely want to add one of these to this page. I'm thinking maybe this one. Of course, the ideas are endless. So, but because this will be the first page that you see when you open the book, the journal, I'm thinking that would be nice. Now, this particular page has a lot of different stitches on it, and I don't want to hide them all. And yeah, I don't want to hide them all. So I just want to make sure that I can still see the stitches. So for example, I have the French knots up here. I have seed stitching here. I have canthus stitching here, right? So like I wouldn't want to put this there because that's going to cover up the seed stitches. So yeah, I'm thinking maybe here to where I can still see the seed stitches as well as the French knots. And I like that. I think that that's a good spot. And like I said, it's going to add yellow onto this page. So let's go ahead and stitch this on. Oh, you know what I was thinking too? Wait a minute. Wait 1 minute. I was thinking that maybe I should even bring in a little bit of fabric. I like this piece a lot. What if I did something like that? Now, of course, that needs to be ironed because that is bothering me. But I really like the stripes. And I kind of like that. Right? So let's go ahead and do this again. I like that, to be honest. So maybe that's what I'll do, is I'll just bring in a little bit of yellow fabric. Or should I use this? No, I really like the stripes. I'm going to go with the stripes. Okay. Let's see if I can iron that flat. I don't know if I can or not. This is a very heavy piece of fabric. So yeah, it keeps curling up. So what I'll do is when I stitch it, I'll just make sure that I get that down. All right. So something like that. I think something like that is good. All right, so let's pin this and stitch it. Oops, come on. All right. Yeah, and I think that that's going to be a pretty addition to this page. Now, one thing that Carol has been, I'm trying to think what thread to use. Well, I could use any of those. Ooh, I don't know. I'm going to go with that one. She had mentioned in her video from over the weekend. I think her videos come out Saturday mornings for this project. And she had mentioned that, we're going to get to making pockets and tags for this journal. Well, I think that's going to be not hard for me, but I'm going to have to really think about that, right? Because, so a page like this over here on this side, I don't feel like I could put a pocket, but I could put a pocket over here. So for example, I don't know that I really have, let's just use this. No, let's use this just for an example. It's not long enough, but I could use that as a pocket and put a tag in there. Could definitely do that. So that might be a good page for a pocket. This one is not. Even like this one, I mean, I could put a pocket. I could do that. And let's just kind of look. Since I'm kind of thinking about this, I'm curious how many pockets and tags I'm going to need. This would be hard, both sides, because I don't want to cover that up. I mean, you could always go in another direction, but I really like all the stitches that I have there. This over here, I mean, I have the lace down here. I mean, I could take this lace off and this piece of trim and put a pocket here. I mean, that's a possibility. I could definitely think about that. But here, oh, I don't think I could put a pocket here unless I did a really narrow. Do I have a narrow piece? Not really. But say I put just like a tuck on the side with a very small tag, because I would not want these covered. So I'm going to have to really, really, really think about that. Yep. So, all right, so let's just get these down. This one, I'm going to do the overcast stitch so that I'm sure that this fabric doesn't curl up on me. And always remember, you know, you can zoom in by doing that on your device so that you zoom in. So you can always zoom in if you want to see better what I'm stitching. Because what happens is if I go and I zoom in any more than what I did, I'm going to forget. And then I'm going to be working on something thinking that you can see it and you can't because I zoomed in and it's not in the right spot. Yeah, it's a real thing. So I don't trust myself to remember to zoom back out. Oh my gosh. All right, and on the corners, I'm doing a stitch right across the corner to hold it down. Which is kind of my new thing to do pretty much on everything, because I don't want those corners curling up. So if you don't know Carol, one of the things, I mean, I've known Carol for years now. In fact, it was the Roxy Volume 1. I had seen Carol post about it back in 2001, and she was going to do Volume 1. And so I decided to do it as well. Both of us new stitchers. We were both new to stitching. So we really learned along with Rachel and Sarah, or at least I know I did, and I'm going to assume that Carol learned a lot from them as well. But it was Carol that I saw that project from. So if it wasn't for Carol and her video about starting that project, I don't know if I would be stitching today. So, yep. All right, so let's see. So I think what I'm going to do is around this flower. Okay, so that got that down really well, right? That's not going to curl because it has that overcast stitch. This I am not worried about it curling because I don't think it will. So I'm just going to do a straight stitch around here. And that will be it for this. So, but what I was going to say is with Carol, when she talks about working on this project, you know, it's really great because she's like, you know, you can make it any size that you want, use any colors that you want, you know, any of your fabrics or laces. So it makes it, for me, fun and easy because, yeah, I don't know, I like participating in different things. So that's why I'm doing this. And I want to support Carol. And I like that I can do pretty much anything I want, you know? So, like, if, for example, if I didn't want to do pockets and tags, I'm sure Carol would be fine with that, right? So it's more, you know, I like how she makes it just more about stitching along with somebody, right? That's really what she's doing, is kind of giving the, what would be the word? Kind of giving people the environment to just stitch, right? Without needing certain things. I remember with the first Roxy project, well, I mean, I had like nothing, right? Because I wasn't a stitcher. So, oh my gosh, I learned so much and I loved it. And, you know, they would say, oh, well, add a quilted piece. Well, it's like, well, I don't have a quilted piece. so, so I would go buy a quilted piece, you know? I mean, it was like, oh my gosh. But now, you know, you all know my stash is pretty good. Yep. All right. Oh, that's done. Oh, I love it. I love it. That's perfect. So then that, make sure I have it the right way. We'll go there. And that will be the first page when you open. I still might add maybe some stamped word or image. I really like adding stamped words or sayings, images to my work. I really like that. Okay, so that's that. So now this page that didn't have yellow has yellow. I'm not going to worry about the back of it because when I put a pocket here, I can make it a yellow pocket. So I'm good with that. So let's see, is there a spot where I can add this? Actually, that would work right there. Wait, let me do this. So, I mean, I think there's multiple places. I wouldn't want to cover up the wave stitch because I think that's really cool looking. I could put it up there. Well, let's see. Is there another? This page I like. I don't want to do anything to this page unless maybe something very small right there, but I love this. I love it. I don't want to really touch that. And this I love. I don't want to touch. So we're back here, which there's plenty of options. You know what I'm thinking about right now? So what I have in my mind right this second is bulkiness, right? So I did a quick little look to see if I have anything else in this area of the journal that would be bulky or could be bulky at some point. So at this point, I don't have a lot of bulky stuff. I just don't. Once I do the pockets, which I don't think I'm doing. Well, unless I do that side tuck spot there, but then that would be over here, so that would be on this side. So that's something to think about, right? So if I did a tuck spot over here with just a small tag, then that would be in the same spot as this, right? On this side and here. So that would make that area super bulky. So maybe I want to stay away from that. I kind of like it right there. And I was thinking of bringing in more fabric, kind of like the other page. But I don't have to. All right, I can even make it smaller. Do I have a smaller piece? I like the brown. I like the dark brown. All right, let me go ahead and make this smaller. And let's see. Because I think that would be a pretty, oh, I like that. That would be a pretty, how do I say it? What's the word? The opposite of it. Well, it's going to make, I think, the yo-yo pop more on that dark. It brings your eye there a little bit more than without the brown. It kind of gives it a place to sit as well, right? It kind of gives it a place to sit. Okay, so let's go ahead. Do I want to change? Do I want to change my thread? I think I'm going to go with the yellow. So let's do that. Okay. Let's take that off, and we're going to go with yellow pearl thread, size 8. Oh, and you know what? I think I've been calling this size 8. I think I was wrong. This is the Hobby Lobby. And I told my good friend Linda that it was a size 8, but she was right. I think it's a size 5. So I've been calling it 8, but I think that's wrong because I think this is 5 and this is definitely 10. So I think that's how it goes. I don't think I kept my packaging, but I do know that all my pearl thread is a size 8. That I do know. Okay, so like I could even, when you're sewing a yo-yo, well, do I have a button here? I do. Okay, so a lot of people will sew a button on there, which I like, but that's gonna just make this bulkier. Some people will put what's it called? Turkey stitch or that kind of thing in there, which basically would make it stick up and the thread stick up out of the middle, and that would be pretty, but I don't want to do that. I don't think I want, in this case, to make the yo-yo even bulkier than just having the yo-yo. Like, since I'm new to yo-yos, like I was having, well, it took me a while to understand how to do the, like, put the thread and pull it. So this is definitely a bulkier yo-yo. And yeah, so it's already pretty bulky. So I just want to keep that in mind as well. So I'll just do the overcast stitch again. It's a really, really awesome stitch to make sure that your edges aren't going to curl up. And I think it looks pretty. I think it looks pretty. So I'll see what Carol does in her next video, and you know, I'll follow along. So like in her last video, she kept stitching, you know, onto her pages. So that's what I'm doing as well. So even though her journal, I'm going to do the overcast stitch around the yo-yo as well, which is pretty much what I always do around a yo-yo. But yeah, you know, her journal, of course, it looks totally different than mine, which is more than fine. It should, right? We all have different pieces to use, different fabrics, different laces, different doilies. We all do different stitches. Like I have my stitches that are my go-to stitches. And I'm sure Carol does as well. You know, sometimes you have to really stop and think about stitches. Like if you want to, you know, keep, well, I want to say practicing or keep up with different stitches, you have to use them, right? So my go-tos, I can just kind of go to at any point in time and just do them. Where there's other ones that I really have to think about. So, yep, so we all have different stitches. We all like different colors. Like Carol's, it has a lot of blue, which is not my favorite color, but I, you know, recently did this little blue pouch for my bobbins of thread. So I'm trying to use, you know, different colors and, you know, use what you have. If you have it, use it. Yep. And sometimes you can find it, if you like a challenge, like I like a challenge. I'm all about the challenge. You know, give me a challenge and I'm gonna do my hardest to do it successfully. I was like that even in work. I just loved challenges, different projects, and completing them successfully for the most part. Yep, loved it. Okay, so this is the last stitch, and that's going to be it for today. So I'm excited to see Carol's next video and where she goes with it. And I will do my best to follow along the best I can. All right, so that's that. That looks good, right? I like it. I like it. All right. So there we go. Done. Done. There we go. Our 2 new additions. So thank you, Carol. And if anybody has a question, go ahead and leave me a comment and I will get back to you. Thank you all for being here and for watching. And I will see you on Thursday. I'm going to do a video on what my plans are for the Roxy Journal of Stitchery Volume 9. I have it figured out. I'm going to show you the book I'm using for my inspiration. I have a box on where I'm going to store my journals. I'm going to show you some older journals that I've made in about the same size that I'm planning to make Volume 9 journals. And yeah, so anyways, yeah, so I'll see you Thursday with that video. Have a blessed week. Bye-bye.